Wolverine. First he rides my coattails with the R rating, then the hairy MFer ups the ante by dying. Well, guess what, Wolfie? I'm dying in this one too.
If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that hurt you, and you'd stay. I don't know why I did the things I did.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Roll Screen Team. I'm Andrew Thomas. I'm here with fellow Deadpool, Christopher Johnson.
Hello, everyone.
And we're continuing the Deadpool-athon.
Yes, as we talk about a very good film, but now it's kind of in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it doesn't get enough love anymore.
Yeah.
Because now, in a way, it doesn't measure up to the first one.
Yeah.
And the new one that people consider it to be the third film, but it's not technically the third film. So, I guess why don't we get into it?
Yeah.
Deadpool 2 is a 2018 superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character Deadpool. The film is a sequel to 2016's Deadpool and the 11th installment in the X-Men film series. The film was produced by Marvel Entertainment, TSG Entertainment, Kinberg Genre, Maximum Effort Productions, and the Donner's Company. The film was distributed by 20th Century Fox. The film was directed by David Leitch and written by Rhett Reese, Paul Wernick, and Ryan Reynolds. The film stars Ryan Reynolds in the title role alongside Josh Brolin, Morena Baccarin, Julian Dennison, Zazie Beetz, T.J. Miller, Brianna Hilbrand, and Jack Kesey.
Now the synopsis.
Okay. Wisecracking mercenary Deadpool meets Russell, an angry teenage mutant who lives at an orphanage. When Russell becomes a target of Cable, a genetically enhanced soldier from the future, Deadpool realizes he'll need some help saving the boy from such a superior enemy. He soon joins forces with Bedlam, Shatterstar, Domino, and other powerful mutants to protect young Russell from Cable and his advanced weaponry.
It's still entertaining.
Yes. I like the fact that each Deadpool film kind of has its own kind of theme.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was a love story.
Yeah.
This one, it's a family story.
Yeah.
As well as the stages of grief.
Yeah. And we talk about the depressed guy himself, Ryan Reynolds, as Deadpool. With the grief part.
Yeah. And since we brought him up, why don't we get into the man himself? Wade Wilson, a.k.a. Deadpool, played by Ryan Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what more do we actually have to say? The man is perfect as this character.
Yeah. Like the fact that he made fun of the end of Logan.
Yeah.
With their own homemade thing that they made.
And I'm still trying to figure out when he blew himself up, how did he repair himself?
Well, Colossus took all of his body parts
and put them back together.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, can you blame him?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we actually see a lot more. I mean, we already saw a great deal of emotional range from the first film.
Yeah.
I mean, him loving Vanessa, the cancer,
Yeah.
the devastation of what he ended up looking after all the experimentation from, I guess this offshoot of Department H.
Yeah.
And, him wanting to be with Vanessa, but not being sure if she'll, be willing to handle him being disfigured.
Yeah.
Which, fortunately, in the end, she acknowledges that it's still him. He's just, horribly scarred thanks to his super healing and cancer in an infinite stalemate.
Yeah.
Which sometimes he looks better, sometimes he looks worse, depending on how aggressive the cancer is.
Yeah.
But in this one, I guess there's no way getting around it.
No.
Quite possibly one of the most messed up things about the film early on in the film, after Deadpool's been taking out, various targets and whatnot, said targets go and attack him at his apartment. He takes out most of them, except one actually kills Vanessa. Deadpool still got him, embraced him as they both get ran over by a bus, Final Destination style. But yeah, I can understand why Wade is really messed up for the rest of this film. And yeah, it is him going through all the stages of grief. We don't really see the denial part.
No.
It's essentially more of the anger, the sadness.
Yeah. He tries multiple ways to off himself. Which is,
well, yeah, that's the bargaining.
Which is mainly shown more in the unrated alternate cut, and even in the PG-13 cut, they added some of those scenes in there too.
Yeah, which is the bargaining, and then when he actually thinks that he's dying, acceptance.
Yeah. And he does visit Vanessa in the sort of afterlife briefly. He won't let him in.
Yeah. But of course, it's Deadpool.
Yeah.
He always finds a mulligan to fix such terrible things like this.
Yeah. Of course, in his depression, he gets recruited to be X-Men, which doesn't go so well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hey, at least he was a man of his word and actually became an X-Man in training.
Yeah.
I mean, he said he would if Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead helped him in the first film.
Yeah, and then he ends up going beyond that just to kill the evil people at the children's home, and he gets sent to the prison, where he also gets resentful of the kid he tried to save.
Yeah, because now in prison, and then on top of it, they've put the freaking mutant collar on him, so
his cancer is
slowly dying.
Yeah.
Slowly or rapidly? Is he slowly dying?
Or probably rapidly.
Oh, Lord. Do they not realize that his only power is the healing factor?
Mm-hmm.
Do they not realize that you're actively killing an inmate?
Don't think they care.
There are still rules in the system. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah. Of course, then he has then he gets motivation thanks to the spirit of Vanessa after he gets the collar ripped off of him.
Yeah.
And then he decides to go do his X-Force stuff and fight Cable.
Yeah. Well, I guess
Yeah.
seeing as though we brought him up.
Yeah.
Well, do we talk about the adversary that becomes an ally, or do we talk about, I guess she's the MacGuffin this time?
We'll just do the adversary that became my ally.
Okay. Seeing as though you brought him up. Cable, played by Josh Brolin.
Thanos himself.
Yep.
Because
Right.
This came out a year after Avengers Infinity War, or around the same time of Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah, this was between Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah,
right?
so I think it was some couple months after Infinity War.
I swear, Josh Brolin was just rolling in the Marvel dough.
Yeah, after he flickered it out, he became adversary / good guy, sort of.
Yeah, because that's kind of what Cable is. I mean, as an additional Rob Liefeld / Chris Claremont creation, dude is also essentially a futuristic mercenary that goes out killing.
Of course, he was foreshadowed in the Ferris Bueller Deadpool post-credit scene.
Yes, which was fantastic.
Yep. We don't know who it was going to be. Dolph Lundgren, Keira Knightley.
Either way, yeah, they're gonna have the metal arm and everything.
Yeah.
Chicka-chicka.
Yeah.
But Josh Brolin actually did the character a great deal of justice. I mean, it's also crazy. This is the first time we've ever seen Cable in live action.
Yeah.
And anyone that tries to do this after him has a heavy task ahead of them.
Yeah.
Because you definitely felt the pathos and everything of what Cable is.
Yeah.
You know, dude is from the future. Usually messed up things are happening in the future, and he has to go back to the past to go and make sure that these things do not affect the future.
Yeah.
So,
And here he's trying to affect the future. For losing his family. Minus his son, who doesn't exist in this continuity.
yeah, which is weird.
Yeah. His son gets replaced by a daughter.
Hasn't he had both?
Yeah.
A son and a daughter?
Yeah, so just a daughter. Son doesn't exist in the timeline.
Or hasn't been born yet.
Yeah.
And essentially, he went through the horrible circumstance of his wife and daughter getting killed
Yeah.
by the future version of Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kid, apparently during the course of events in our present, he ends up turning heel.
Yeah.
Big time. And in the future, he just goes around committing murders.
Yeah.
Just cuz.
Yeah.
Just cuz. I don't even think there's really a true motivation of him doing it. He's just doing it.
Yeah.
Which is the worst type of evil.
Yeah.
Just anarchy.
Yeah.
So I don't blame Cable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's still a kid.
Yeah.
But then again, this is still Cable's MO,
Yeah.
because he doesn't care whether it's grown adult, child, baby, or anything. If it is the linchpin that causes mass suffering, he's taking it out.
Yeah. I do love his scenes with the other characters like Ryan Reynolds. Eventually, when he all this stuff, yeah.
All the different fights that they have against each other are just fantastic.
Yeah. And this is basically a body cop movie between Cable and Deadpool, which doesn't happen till like midway through
Yeah.
the movie
I mean, we're essentially just seeing Deadpool suffer
Yeah.
in the first half.
And then him trying to stop Cable the second half, and then they finally team up in the third half.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
final third.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, it kind of shows the development of things over time.
Yeah.
I mean, Deadpool down on his luck, ends up in prison after actually, I guess, define a good thing that he did.
Now let Russell become a murderer, I guess.
Well, I mean, as far as taking out one of the really messed up individuals in the orphanage,
Yeah.
which we'll get more into a bit later.
Yeah.
And then,
And this is also Josh Brolin's gonna be like second of third time travel movie, since he starred as younger Agent K in Men in Black 3 beforehand.
very true.
Cable, and then a younger Thanos.
Yeah,
Avengers Endgame.
like, how early?
Oh,
Guardian, yeah,
first Guardians,
Guardian, yeah, first Guardians Thanos. So, yeah. What is up with Josh Brolin and time travel?
Yeah.
And each one, he has done the different ideas of what time travel is.
Yeah.
Where there's the more kind of Terminator idea of it, and then the more Dragon Ball idea of it, where, oh, what you do in the past is a butterfly effect that affects the future.
Yeah.
While Dragon Ball, which was adopted by Marvel, is essentially the timeline is set. You affecting it either kind of create, or I guess it's kind of more Back to the Future.
And Back to the Future is you still alter the timeline.
Well, Dragon Ball came up with the whole idea of what you going into the past essentially doesn't affect what you see as the future.
Yeah.
It's essentially kind of its own different timeline.
Yeah.
So it's kind of similar to what Marvel is doing, as far as you going into the past isn't affecting the future. It's you actively, doing things in your present.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure that things kind of don't get too muddied.
Yeah. Which they do anyway in Endgame, which foreshadows a couple Disney Plus series.
Yeah, true. But hey, Josh Brolin did do the character a great deal of justice, and I mean, he didn't really have to try too hard. Cable isn't that too complex of a character.
Yeah.
Really, the only time he ever really gets complex is whenever he has to deal with his parents.
Yeah.
That's really when things get weird, but we don't have Scott Summers in this one.
No. Or Gene. Or should I say Madam Pryor?
Yeah, the clone.
Yeah.
The freaking clone.
X-Men 97 does that better.
What was up with Marvel during that time and making clones? I swear, X-Men went through it. Spider-Man went through it. The freaking Skrull invasion.
Oh, they're still doing clones for Spider-Man. Not just for Spider-Man, but for his other characters. Other supporting characters.
Can they stop? Did they learn nothing from the first Clone Saga?
No. They need Lynn Carr to review all their terrible comics with the clones.
But I guess now do we get into which MacGuffin do we get into?
The first one.
The Stages of Grief?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Vanessa Carlyle played by Marina Baccarin.
Yeah, she becomes a woman in the refrigerator. This time.
Yeah, at least, but it's not as bad compared to Kyle Rayner,
Yeah.
where the whole fridging idea came from.
Yeah.
It's essentially showing that sometimes I guess you have to be aware of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And also thinking about the fact of what you do kind of affects your family.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing as though it's a family story.
Yeah.
And of course, what Deadpool is doing, yeah, it would end up affecting everyone around him that he considers his family.
Yep.
In one way or another.
Yep.
So, I do understand that, but yeah, I do feel like they shortchanged Marina Baccarin in this one, for real.
Well, that's one in the next one. Once we get into that too.
Well, remember, that one isn't even technically Deadpool 3. That's a freaking spin-off that is involving a whole host of characters from different universes and timelines.
Yeah.
So there really wasn't a lot of space to, bring in most of Deadpool's supporting cast.
Yeah.
But this one, they did do her dirty.
And she just becomes a voice of reason in the afterlife.
Yeah, essentially helping Deadpool through the stages of grief, and also helping guide him in doing the right thing.
Yeah. But don't worry, it's only temporary.
Yeah, because, remember how Cable gets here.
Mm-hmm.
Time device. Mm-hmm. And we have a Deadpool here. Mm-hmm. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, let's talk about those returning supporting casts before we get to the X-Force.
Or the other MacGuffin?
Yeah.
Well, I guess, seeing as though he does get major billing, T.J. Miller as Weasel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we don't really have to go into it. We already went through it in the first film. Yeah. Yeah, it is weird to say that T.J. Miller did do a good job in this one.
And your thing about him winning Resurrection, the problem is he doesn't get along with Ryan Reynolds, so there's no chance of him coming back to the Deadpool universe.
Well, the main reason why they don't get along is the fact that we know the messed up stuff T.J. Miller has done.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds said, I will not work with this man.
Yeah.
So he can't really get mad at Ryan. That's on you, TJ.
Yeah.
That's why you haven't been in a major film in how long now?
Yeah. But he helps with the recruit of X-Force.
Yeah. Yep, helps go through all the different applicants.
Then gets captured by Cable. And with just a threat of him getting beat up, he just spills it all because he's a weasel.
Well, yeah. That's his name.
Yeah.
But, hey.
Unlike that weasel sorcerer in Doctor Strange 2. The one where... Yeah, that's the name of the sorcerer that one that says... whispers in the ear saying, run. That's the name of the guy he's a weasel sorcerer.
Why? Because he ran.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, so now we have two weasels in the MCU.
Yeah, but at least we know what happened to one of them.
Yeah.
We have no idea what happened to this one.
Yeah. Well, the one of them is also still alive. the coward ran away. That's the lie. They need him to go run away for more Doctor Strange sequels.
I guess next we go into the other friend.
Yeah.
Blind Al, played by Leslie Uggams. And once again, Leslie's fantastic.
Yeah.
I never would have thought that Kizzy from Roots would have such great comedic rapport with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
But once again, it still works perfectly.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that she would get this character down pat?
Yeah.
And I feel bad for her because why almost both films she had to deal with this man growing back body parts and her not fully knowing what is going on.
Yeah. Yep. And then there's also a scene underneath that says "Cure for Cancer." Oh, cure for blindness.
Where apparently he was not lying from the first film, where underneath one of the floorboards was a huge amount of cocaine and the cure for blindness. And he still won't tell her exactly where it is. Mm-hmm. Though part of me does wonder, did she find the cocaine in Deadpool and Wolverine?
Probably.
But hey, she's still fantastic.
Yeah.
I guess now, I guess we go into the chauffeur before we get into the mutants.
Yep.
Yep. Dopinder, played by Karan Soni.
He wants to be a contract killer.
Yes.
That's his story arc, yeah.
Yeah, I guess after dealing with his cousin, Bantu, I guess now he wants to become a mercenary too.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, we can't take this man that seriously at trying to do this. Dopinder, no. Mm-hmm. No. You're too happy-go-lucky and nice.
But he does get a kill at the end.
Very true. Very true.
To prove himself. To prove himself to Deadpool that he can be a contract killer.
And he did.
Yeah.
I wonder how he got away with that one, too. Mm-hmm. But hey, Dopinder's still great.
Yeah.
You know, every film we must have Dopinder in some way. Mm-hmm. I still want to have that moment where all supporting characters from all the different movies and shows like meet each other and they just have a group session talking about how all these characters have affected them, either positively or negatively.
Yeah.
I guess you'd have Dopinder and Blind Al there.
Yeah. And Peter.
Yes. Very true. Very true. I guess now we get into the returning mutants.
Yeah.
Starting with...
Colossus.
Well... Yeah. Stefan...
Kopic, yeah.
Kopic.
Yeah.
As the voice of Colossus.
Yeah.
Once again, the man is perfect.
Yeah.
Why did it have to take the Deadpool films to continuously do this character right?
Yeah.
We went through so much with this freaking X-Men franchise under Fox, and they could never get him right. But Ryan Reynolds was able to do this character right.
Yeah.
Because once again, Colossus is still that very nice Boy Scout from Russia that wants to do the right thing, be a hero. But he also learns that maybe sometimes you have to play a bit dirty when you're dealing with such a greater threat, which we'll get into a bit later.
Yeah, he gets disappointed in Deadpool after all his talk. They start shooting, that Deadpool starts shooting the people that really did deserve it. So
yeah,
and just leave him there to go. Leave Deadpool there to go rot in jail. And we don't see him again until Deadpool apologizes.
I forget.
With a boombox.
He played. Didn't he play "In Your Eyes" by Peter Gabriel?
Yeah.
He had to do the "Say Anything" scene,
and he gets the fight a much bigger person compared to Gina Carano this time,
which we'll get into a bit later.
Yeah.
But hey, he's not the only one.
Yeah.
We also get to see Negasonic Teenage Warhead, played by Brianna Hildebrand.
She's still great, even though she now has her girlfriend to tag along.
Yeah, which makes her a bit less of that disrespectful teenager that she was in the first one.
Yeah.
And I guess because of the fact that Brianna Hildebrand herself is
bi, so
they decided to give her a girlfriend. So
I guess so.
So I guess we might as well talk about her as well. Yukio, played by Shioli Kutsuna.
Yeah. She's fine. I still like the one from the Wolverine.
Yeah. This is actually a recast of things.
Or alternate timeline, but it's all confusing.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that with Deadpool and Wolverine because this starts to become ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah. Essentially now we have a Yukio that is younger and in a relationship with Negasonic Teenage Warhead. She is also an X-Men, and apparently she has more powers on top of just seeing seeing how people die.
Yeah.
But hey, she can fight, so...
And she really likes Wade.
Yeah. Because, I mean... despite how Deadpool is, he is still likable.
Yeah.
He's just weird and off the wall.
Yeah. Well, that's about the X-Force.
Yep. With dealing with such a formidable opponent as Cable, Deadpool can't do this alone. So he has to go and make his own team.
And he has auditions.
Yes, him and Weasel actually hold auditions to find the best people to be a part of his new team, X-Force. Well, I guess starting with the first person that I bring up, Bedlam, played by Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Yes. This man still needs to have like a proper character in these comic book universes.
Yeah.
This cameo was not enough.
Yeah.
This cameo was not enough.
That goes with everyone.
Yeah. Same thing with Shatterstar, played by Louis Tan, except he actually gets to make it out okay in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, we so much more we could have had, so much more.
Yeah.
But the one that actively survives, because, well,
She's lucky.
yes, lucky, and also everyone else did not realize that, oh, the wind current is pretty bad today. Maybe not the best time to go skydiving and using a parachute. Domino, played by Zazie Beetz.
Yeah.
Different type of interpretation of Domino, but I liked Zazie.
Yeah.
I think she did do the character justice.
Yeah.
And I do like the rapport that she does have with Deadpool.
Yeah.
She is a very capable
with the debate. Luck isn't a superhero. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Let's agree to disagree.
Yeah, but luck for her, luck is a superpower because so many things.
When she saves the kids from the orphanage, we need a bus. Bus crashes down.
Everybody get in the bus.
Yeah.
Or when various things are exploding or flying close to her, they just miss her, like just by an inch.
Yeah.
And she doesn't flinch. Plus, she also goes toe to toe with Cable.
Yeah.
And she's able to hold her own.
Yeah.
I mean, they did Domino right. This is how Domino is. I mean, why do you think she often teams up with Deadpool in the comics? Yeah, I understand why they didn't go into the whole thing of them having their on again, off again thing because, well, Deadpool, as of right now, is a one-woman man, even though currently in the story she's dead.
Yeah.
But she gets better.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. She's a great. Whereas from the Brotherhood of Mutants, mainly from the Wolverine and the X-Men show.
Oh, they made her a villain?
I think so. Maybe I could be wrong. I do remember watching one of the animated series with her in it.
Sometimes she is a bit of an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Sometimes she does heroic stuff. Sometimes doing more villainous. I mean, she's a mercenary too.
Well, technically it was Quicksilver's Brotherhood of Mutants.
Oh.
Yeah. Because he wanted to get approved by Father.
Of course.
Well, Wanda was a favorite.
It's usually the other way around.
Yeah.
What were they doing? It's usually the other way around.
Don't know. Apparently Quicksilver did something to take Magneto off, so he exiled him from Genosha.
I swear.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was awesome to see X-Force get acknowledged.
Yeah.
It's kind of unfortunate we didn't actually get to see all of them do stuff, but I guess that's the whole joke.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, that was all for the trailers and the TV spots.
Well played, Ryan Reynolds. Well played.
But we're still not done yet. There's still a couple more from the X-Force. Like Bill Skarsgård.
Well, but we get more into them with the cameos.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into the two baddies. The mutant baddie first. Mutant baddie / MacGuffin.
Well, yeah, he's the main MacGuffin.
Yeah.
But he actually does have an important part in this whole story.
Yeah.
Yes, Russell Collins, a.k.a. Fire Fist, played by Julian Dennison.
Yeah.
I actually like Russell.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
He has been he's one of those individuals that has been dealt one of the worst hands possible.
Yeah.
Because he's a mutant in an orphanage full of anti-mutites that essentially are torturing the children that are mutants. And apparently the government isn't doing anything to stop this orphanage. They are actively doing like messed up conversion therapy on these kids. But what is it gonna do? They can't do. There's nothing they can do about being a mutant.
Mm-hmm.
So you just torturing kids just cause.
Yeah. Of course, he tries to be friends with Deadpool, who in jail, which Deadpool, in the middle of dying, didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, because stages of grief and also feeling like this kid is the reason why I'm here.
Yeah.
But I think he was a bit too harsh to the kid.
Yeah.
He was. He shouldn't. He should have been much nicer.
And then he decided to go find his new best friend.
Yes. Which, I guess, do we get into the character now?
Yeah.
Yeah, the kid finds a good friend. In the Juggernaut. And this ain't this ain't Vinnie Jones. This ain't a silly get-up from X-Men The Last Stand. This is full-on comic book accurate Juggernaut. Absolute giant, full-on metal dome helmet. Stomping around. Oh, Deadpool getting in my way. I will rip him in half.
And he's back as being Charles' stepbrother.
Yes, which I'm very happy about.
Yeah.
Thank you for actively making him Charles Xavier's stepbrother again.
Yeah.
Thank you. God. Which now also makes the continuity of things even more confusing because now we have this version of Colossus and this version of Juggernaut. So...
Yeah. Such a headache. And this one's voiced by Ryan Reynolds.
Yes. With, I believe, also David Leitch's face.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why they kind of say it's Juggernaut as himself when it comes to the credits, because he's not really... he's not really played by a direct character.
Yeah.
You know, he's just himself.
And then of course, he has a fight out with Colossus.
Yes, which, good lord.
Yeah.
Good lord. I always wanted to fight between those two.
Yeah.
And I finally got it. And it was awesome. But dear God, the Juggernaut.
Yep.
That's why Colossus had to learn to fight a bit dirty.
And then let's talk about the human antagonists. We've already mentioned them, but we haven't mentioned them by name.
The Headmaster?
Yeah.
Yeah, played by Eddie Marsan.
Yeah, Eddie Marsan. He was from... I know more from the Sherlock Holmes playing movies with Robert Downey Jr. playing Inspector Lestrade in those. He
felt like he felt a lot more like the Reverend William Stryker when it came to his whole anti-mutant ideology and philosophy.
Well, he mainly plays villains, except for a few exceptions like Sherlock Holmes and The World's End, where he does the complete opposite. Goes a full nice guy and coward.
How many things have we reviewed where there's someone from the Cornetto trilogy in it?
Pretty much a couple. We just haven't gotten to the next Frost and Simon Pegg, but we will be getting the Pierce Brosnan, who's also in the Cornetto trilogy. Since we do get a James Bond reference.
See, they missed out on getting Roger Moore before he passed.
Yeah.
They should have gotten him.
Yeah, for Shaun of the Dead.
Did they get Lazenby?
Yeah. No, they didn't.
Oh.
They did get Dalton.
That would have been great, too.
Nope, just Dalton and Brosnan.
But yeah, the headmaster's messed up. Maybe not as messed up as like his...
Yeah. Second in command, who we don't see very long.
Yeah,
Because
which I think that guy was even more messed up.
Yeah.
I think that dude actually like took pleasure in torturing the kids, while Headmaster thought he was helping them in his messed up, sick way.
Yeah. But he gets what's coming to him.
Oh yeah, he gets his, and Dopinder gets to prove himself.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that was a good idea, because now he has tasted blood and he wants more.
Yeah.
Though it is a good thing that we actually do see that Julian isn't evil just for evil's sake.
Yeah.
It is because of the environment that he has been around.
Yeah.
And just the messed up circumstances.
Yep.
Thus showing that really, most of the time, people that do bad things don't do them just because they're born that way.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is a series of unfortunate circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
And with Deadpool doing his best and trying to help this kid, after realizing, I messed up. I should have been there for him. I need to help him, especially because I don't want to see him get killed by Cable. I like the fact that he's doing his best and trying to help Russell stay on the straight and narrow.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you do feel bad for Russell, and you do hope that he does see the light.
Yeah. And I guess we talked about the guy who was in prison with them.
Well, yeah. He would have had a much bigger part, but seeing as though we already had Cable, Russell, and the headmaster, they kind of had to tone his character down. Black Tom Cassidy, played by Jack Kesey.
Although Deadpool's race blind and actually thinks he's black.
Just messing with him.
Yeah.
Just messing with him. But I mean, that actually is the name of the character, though. So, what you gonna do? Yeah. Apparently, he's one of the big dogs in the icebox.
Yeah. And ends up getting shot by Cable.
Yeah.
Which disappoints Deadpool.
Yeah. And Black Tom, no! Oh, Lord. It was funny.
Yep.
But, hey, I guess we get into the good.
Yeah, we've already discussed the plot.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, everyone's acting was fantastic, but the true standouts were Ryan Reynolds, Josh Brolin, Julian Dennison, and Zazie Beetz.
Yeah.
They all played... Ryan Reynolds, Josh Brolin, and Zazie Beetz all played their characters fantastically. Did the characters justice. Yeah. Truly felt like we are seeing the characters leap out of the comic and seeing them on the big screen. Yeah. And Julian Dennison did good with playing this, either new or deep cut character. And, showing how messed up, like, the X-Men, the area of where the X-Men are in the Marvel Universe really is.
Yeah.
these are just half the time these are just innocent kids
Yeah.
that don't know what is going on.
Yeah.
And they are subjugated to some of the most messed up things ever.
Yeah.
The improv,
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. And I think we saw even more because of the fact Ryan Reynolds helped write this.
Yeah.
So, absolutely fantastic. All the fourth wall breaks.
Yeah.
I still love how subtly they've acknowledged Deadpool's ability of breaking the fourth wall. They haven't made it too big of a thing.
Yeah.
You know, where he already had kind of that weird sense of humor before he got his mutant powers. After getting the mutant powers, that's where he gains that super sanity and essentially knows he's in the film. He knows he's a character. Also with the improv, rest in peace, Cerebro Helmet.
Yeah. The real life Cerebro prop that they use.
And yeah,
And Ryan Reynolds actually accidentally broke it.
yeah.
Yep. So that scene that wasn't part of the joke he accidentally did.
But I guess serendipity, because it actually did make things funny.
Yeah.
Like we said, the action. Deadpool's contract kills at the beginning of the film. His fights with Cable. The ice, whether it was them fighting in the icebox or the icebox convoy chase. Colossus versus Juggernaut.
Yeah.
The action was fantastic.
Yep. And we should also point out the little mini film that they did to promote the second film with Stan Lee cameo.
Sip it, Stanley!
Yeah, the Deadpool thing where he tries to do the Deadpool no good deed, where he tries to go do his own Superman thing, and he gets there right after the victim is already killed.
Yeah. But at least we actually got to see him interact with Stan Lee.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. So that's like 1.5.
yeah. And of course, all of the cameos.
Yeah.
I mean, just with the characters that we see join the X-Force. I mean, we get Bill Skarsgård as Zeitgeist.
And we're talking about him next year in the Nosferatu remake, and not the Crow reboot movie.
Yeah, we are not talking. No.
And someday the It movies. Someday we'll talk about those.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
When we want to change things up and not make it superhero or James Bond related.
Yeah. But yeah, his ability is to literally. He's the one that
Yeah.
throws up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Acid.
Yeah.
Oof. Which greatly affects one of the other most important characters that would grow into greater importance in the next film, Peter Wisdom, played by Rob Delaney.
Yeah. The only X-Force person who has no superpowers.
Yeah. He just saw the ad and thought that, it'd be an interesting thing to get
And
involved
sent him
in.
a good photo of him from back in the day.
Yeah.
Back when I looked much more handsome.
Oh, Lord.
Thinking that we're getting catfished here.
But, hey, I mean, apparently it was a very important thing for Deadpool to save him in the end, because he would actually come in clutch in the next film.
Yeah.
So it was good to keep Peter.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. And the other cameos.
Yeah. We did have a character that was known as Vanisher.
Mm-hmm.
Dude was just invisible. Didn't say nothing, didn't do nothing. At one point, he's literally just a floating parachute backpack. But because of the winds, he collides with the electricity cords. Mm-hmm. And as he's electrocuting, we find out it's Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm. He was considered to be Cable at one point,
which would have been very interesting.
Yeah.
That would have been very interesting to see.
Yeah.
I think I would have been. I think that would have been cool.
Yeah. Of course, then we have some of Brad Pitt's friends as cameos, which you didn't know about.
Well, yes. When Cable officially, travels from the future to the past, he runs into a couple rednecks. One is played by
Alan Tudyk.
And the other one, surprisingly, is Matt Damon.
Mm-hmm.
All we're missing is Ben Affleck, and we have the whole crew.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
The makeup was done perfect, because I did not realize that was Matt Damon.
Yeah.
They really did that. They did that very well. Very well.
Yep. I didn't realize it until the commentary. And
plus they were funny.
Yeah.
And seeing them react to Cable was great.
Yeah.
We actually see a young Legion eating cereal in the orphanage, played by Luke Rossler.
Yep.
And then going into a couple characters that we see in the icebox.
Yeah.
This one is great. Sluggo, Black Tom's Heavy, played by Robert Mallet.
Mm-hmm.
But I know him. Yeah, dum diddy dum, get your ass out the way, cause here we come, and we're bringing this spectacle into your town. We got creep shows, freak shows, wicked clowns. Welcome everyone to the greatest show. Kurrigan from the WWE. I knew that he had gone into acting, but I never thought we would actually run into him in one of these films. Yeah. At some point, I am going to introduce you to some of the weirder aspects of wrestling. Kurrigan first started off as a part of the Truth Commission, apartheid group that... it was weird. But then after that, he joins the Oddities. Mm-hmm. He's essentially a part of these groups of individuals that are weird, off the wall, and kind of kind of freak shows.
Yeah.
But fun-loving, but they're fun-loving, him with his tie-dye shirt, waving hands, while literally having Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope, the Insane Clown Posse themselves, rapping the theme song. I mean, everyone come see the greatest show, unlike anything that you know. Come and be down with the clowns. The big gotta see freak shows in town. It's great to see him. But he's not the only interesting character that we saw. They didn't really make it a big thing, but we saw Omega Red, played by Dakota Shepley. You brought in one of the more serious X-Men villains, and in many ways he's kind of a Wolverine villain as well.
Yeah.
I mean the dude is he's essentially like the other. He's essentially a lot like Morbius, except instead of vampire, has weird extension cord things that come out of his wrists, and he sucks the essence out of you. And also has great mutant powers and doesn't mind killing. I would have liked to have seen them acknowledge him more.
Yeah.
Would have been great. Though, another great group of cameos that very clever. Yeah, in the first film, Deadpool acknowledged, seems like the studio didn't have enough of a budget to have more X-Men in this film. And then he brings it up again. Though, in the next room, we see James McAvoy as Professor X, Nicholas Hoult as Beast, Evan Peters as Quicksilver, Ty Sheridan as Cyclops, Alexandra Shipp as Storm, and Cody Smith McPhee as Nightcrawler in their attire for the next X-Men film that's supposed to come out.
Dark Phoenix.
The film that we don't talk about. And Nicholas Hoult just decides to close the doors. Out of sight, out of mind. But it was great to see them. It was great to see them get acknowledged and acknowledge that joke.
Yep. Of course, you're forgetting another cameo. Hugh Jackman cameo through the post-credits scene. X-Men Origins Wolverine clip.
Oh, yes, that is true. We did get... It's essentially stock footage.
Yeah.
But it was still cool to see Ryan Reynolds kind of interact with...
And he finally kills the other Deadpool.
Yes. He took out No Mouth Deadpool, Weapon 11.
Yeah.
As he should have. And it was very cathartic for all of us.
And in the extended cut, foreshadows Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes.
Where Deadpool says, hey, someday you're going to retire your claws, but when your old friend Wade calls, you come back.
Which was which, hey, who would have thought it would happen?
Yeah.
Additional good things. When we also have Deadpool go through a whole nother regrowing body parts situation. Yeah. When Juggernaut ripped him in half, Deadpool has baby legs. Ouch.
And baby ass.
Yeah.
Which is a funny joke when everyone tries to glue and cable. They're like, oh my god.
Yeah, and he no pants, no underwear, no nothing. Just we can just see your infant everything,
Yeah.
just out there. Why? And also the soundtrack.
Yeah.
While I wouldn't say it's as good as the first one, we still did get some good songs. I mean, Ashes by Celine Dion.
Through the James Bond theme, which we're going to get into
Yes.
later this year.
It was fantastic. He did that. They straight up did like a James Bond intro after the cold open.
Yeah.
We did get Welcome to the Party by Diplo, French Montana, Xavier Ward, and Lil Pump.
Yeah.
We got Thunderstruck by AC/DC. We Belong by Pat Benatar, and If I Can Turn Back Time by Cher.
Yeah. Of course, there's also the X-Force theme that they played
Well, true.
as their sequel theme to the Deadpool rap. What was it? Deadpool X-Force rap remix. Yeah.
Was it done by the same?
Yeah.
What, Team Head Kit?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they also did another one for the movie that we're going to discuss also.
Lord have mercy.
Yep. That we didn't notice.
But it seems like we went through.
And, and they also did two different cuts: the unrated cut, and then the Christmas PG-13 cut.
Yeah, there's so many different versions of this film.
Yeah.
We have the theatrical cut.
Which is on everywhere.
We have the super unrated cut.
Yeah, one where he tries to kill baby Hitler.
Yeah, it's essentially an extended cut of the film and unrated. And then we have the Christmas one.
Which is basically a parody of The Princess Bride.
Yeah, Once Upon a Deadpool, where he has essentially kidnapped Fred Savage, a grown-up Fred Savage, and is essentially reading him the story of this film.
Yep. The PG-13 of this film. And he has his own bleep button on this.
Well done.
Yep.
Well done.
Yep.
I wish we had that.
Yeah.
And we already went through the bad.
Yeah.
You know, Vanessa not being at most of the film because dead.
Mm-hmm.
Though, thank you, Deadpool, for fixing that.
Yeah.
I would not have been happy if they had kept her dead.
Mm-hmm.
And this timeline is already confusing, and it's about to get even more confusing in the next film.
Yeah.
But why don't we get into our scores?
Yeah. I give this an 8 out of 10. Still not as great as the first one, but it does have a lot of good moments. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's still a very good film. It's just it's not as good as the first one, and it's not as good as the film after it.
Yep.
But I would definitely recommend watching this after watching the first one.
Yep.
It is a very nice companion piece.
Yep. But if you have your own opinion, or if you think Deadpool 2 is better than this one, which I've heard some people say that, yeah, we'll get into that at some time.
Okay.
Or watch other reviewers who'd say that for some time. Go find us on Facebook, The Real Screen Team. Where else?
You can also find us on Instagram, Reddit, and TikTok.
And go to our YouTube channel. Make sure to like, comment, share our videos, and subscribe to this channel. We're back at 250 at the moment.
Yep, we're on the road to 500. Once we reach 500, we finally start getting monetization for our videos.
Yeah.
And then we can start upgrading our whole presentation. We'll open a Patreon, and if those that become patrons, you'll get the opportunity to have some viewer requested reviews and some special videos just for Patreon.
Yep. But before we go, we finally made it. We finally made it to the final one.
We're not doing another big. We are not doing this long of a marathon again.
Why are you talking about Superman?
That is only 5 films.
Well, 5 plus the animated movies.
I thought we weren't doing the animated movies.
I thought we were with the Doomsday.
We're gonna have to talk about this.
Yeah. So that's 8.
God, we have a lot ahead of us.
Yeah.
But yes, we finally made it to the finish line. We finally get to talk about the new film. The biggest film of the year, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mm-hmm. So want to roll us out?
Oh, sure. Well, thank you all for watching. Definitely come back and watch us again. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and click the post notification bell so you're updated with all of our upcoming videos. Well, cut, print, that's a wrap.
If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that hurt you, and you'd stay. I don't know